So guys, I thought I'd adjust the chain on the Super Meteor 650 today. Looking at the chain underneath, if you lift the chain, you can see there's quite a bit of play in that. I think it's just at the end of its tolerance, 600 odd kilometers on the clock. If you hold there's a measuring device on part of the tool to undo the rear nut. There's this device here, so that undoes the nut, and you put a screwdriver through the other side of the spindle just to hold it, and it gives you a crank on the nut. It's 24mm open circular socket. So really just to test, to get a rough idea, if you pick a fixed point on the chassis, showing on here on the bottom point, it's down at 55mm. You can see we've got 25, so that'll be the first one at 25, and it goes up in increments 55 up to 85. But using a rough gauge on here, if I put it on the chassis, I can see it's at the bottom of the 1, 2, 3, 4 centimetre mark down, and if I push it all the way up, it goes past the first centimetre. So that's showing that where it says a 55, there's 1 centimetre, 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre, up at the 25, maybe 30 mark. So mine's going to the full distance of 3 full centimetres on the guide on the tool. So I know it's at the outer limit of the allowed specification on the chain sag. So what I'm going to do is, with the toolkit you get supplied, so you get everything in the toolkit. It's quite a comprehensive Roayal Enfield toolkit that's stored in the side panel. Put a screwdriver in this side just to hold the nut. Put the extension on your tool to give you a bit more purchase on the nut the other side, and basically loosen off your nut a few times until we get loose. And it doesn't matter really how loose you tighten this off, because there's an Allen bolt on the back end of the caps that tightens and tensions the rear spindle up, so you're not going to run out of alignment by loosening this off to start with. I think that should be sufficient to get the spindle free. Right, once you've done that, basically in the end of the end cap there are 2 Allen bolts. So what you need to do basically is wind the Allen bolt on each one when the spindle's loose, and keep testing the chain so you get the 20mm minimum play in the chain, which we've got now, which has been adjusted. You can see underneath we've got, if I get under the chain, you can see we've got a 20mm adjustment there. So on the side, not so clear on this side, but on the side there are 2 little tiny grooves. I'll try and get this to focus. And I've got this set on the 6 mark. You can see the little black mark in the middle. I think that's a factory set. On this side the mark is not very clear, but there is a very faint mark. You can just see it above the 6 there, and faintly on the bottom. It should be better marked, and I may put a white marker on there just to make sure I can see it better. You see it better on the other side. If you scoot around the other side, you can see there's a clear mark there at the bottom. It's just focusing there below the 6. You can't see it so much on the top. Again, it's very faint, so I'll probably put a more pronounced mark on each side so I can check in future. But yeah, once you get the each side exactly the same on the marker, tighten the bolt back up, and with the tools provided, and you're pretty much good to go. Yeah guys, with regards to the adjustment of the front brake I've talked about in other videos, it's a simple process to do. Basically you take this pin out, you take that off, and you move the pedal out of the way like that, and you wind that down to where you want it to go to, which was all good and well, but the locking nut that's at the top, you can see it there, that's a locking nut that's loose now. That was all the way to the top, which was up there, and at the top of it there's a small little groove in the you can see it now, you may be able to see a small little groove around the top of the thread, which is your purchase to get a lock on that so you can undo the locking nut. Fortunately I couldn't get anything on there, and I didn't want to gnarl the top of it too much, and I've just got to eventually I've got a pair of pliers on, and I've managed to undo the lock nut, but I didn't want to gnarl anything up the first time I did it, hence not doing it up until now. But the process is dead simple. It was a simple process from the start. It's not something that I couldn't have done. It was just excuse me while I put this locking thing. It was just something I didn't want to sort of nail paintwork up on a new bike. So yeah, I've got it set. Basically, once you get it set, when you've got this clip off and the pin out, you wind it to where you want it set. You basically wind that down, and what you need to do then with a 13mm spanner is just get hold of that and just nip it up against the bottom, and that'll lock it from, save any accidental movement on it and adjustment. So that's locked up tight. The pedal's set now to the new position, which is a lot better for me. Yeah, we're all good to go. So that's the chain done, and the rear brake pedal. Chain's been lubed last week when I cleaned it, so it doesn't need lubing again. Yeah, been out for a toodle again on it today. Done a few more kilometres. There are a few people saying that they would like twin front brakes, twin front discs I should say, but to be honest it stops really well. I mean, with the same size disc on the back as the front, it's got some stopping power for a heavy bike, so there's no real need to have twin discs up front. It's not a super sports bike. It will hustle along, and I'll get a video of my ride up to what I've been on today later, and you can see how it goes around the bends and how it hustles around. Yeah, and you can take a look at that later. Yeah, so I'll try and get some quick shots to stick on the end of the pearlescent green on the tank. Now we've got a bit of sun shining on it. I'll go around the other side. Often when you're looking from the side of the bike, it looks pretty black because the green sections and the gold are pretty much on top. So the rear fender, it's on top, the tank it's on top. But when we've got brilliant sunshine like we've got today and it's shining, I'll try and get out of the shadow there. You can see the pearlescence in the paint. The paint's got a nice pearlescent paint job. Likewise with the front fenders the same. But obviously when you step back and you get to the side in certain light, it appears to be a black bike. Anyway guys, take care and ride safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.